A warm welcome to Baumer HHS Dialogue. My name is Andreas Brandt and I'm the Marketing Manager of Baumer HHS, and I'm happy to be your host for today's webinar. Today we will talk about e-commerce and focus on the process and on processing. We are proud to partner today in this webinar with Enpro, and I'm very happy to see people attending from around the globe to this webinar. Before we start, I would like to give you some information on the webinar itself. For all participants, microphones and cameras are muted. A recording of the webinar will be distributed to all registrants after the webinar, so you will not miss a single information. On the right side of your screen, you have the possibility to communicate with us. We are more than happy to answer all incoming questions at the end of our webinar. Coming now to our agenda of today. We will start with a short video on e-commerce packaging and customer experience. From packaging itself, we then change over to the production process. The technical details will follow then in a presentation from Baumer HHS and from Enpro also. And at the end, there will be enough time for your questions. Before we start, now a short word on the specialists here for your information today. From Baumer HHS, there is attending Andreas Schneiders, Business Development Manager, Corrugated, Michael Nowinczak, Business Development Manager for Print Finishing Industry and Coating, and Thomas Walter, the Head of Business Development. And from our partner Enpro is attending Albert Slot, the Managing Director of Enpro, and Martin Schott, the Sales Manager of Enpro. So I wish you all now a pleasant information, and we'll start now with the information on the webinar. Thank you for attending.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Christina Heimes and I will accompany you through the following presentation of Baumer HHS on the subject of e-commerce. We live in a world full of changes. Many things that are changing that previously seemed stable for a very long time. External influences such as crises and pandemics affect our businesses. Packaging companies that can adapt flexibly to this change can benefit from this. And now, we have to learn to live with the new normal. One of these changes is based on the shifts in the buyer's behavior. A steadily growing proportion of the world population had begun shopping online even before the arrival of COVID-19, with the virus accelerating that trend. Penetration of the internet and mobile devices, such as smartphones, remains one of the main drives of the global e-commerce market, and both are predicted to keep growing. E-commerce is associated with growth that no other packaging market segment can match. Smithers Market Analysis reports the global market for e-commerce packaging was worth 49.15 billion in 2020, having increased by an annual average of more than 21% since 2015. Market value rose by nearly 42% within the last year, largely due to COVID-19 and the subsequent switch to online shopping during the lockdown, which occurred throughout much of the world. These are opportunities that should be taken advantage of. The changes shift the focus of the required packaging properties. Packaging companies will have to think beyond the must-haves, such as cost, convenience, and performance. One obvious change is that the protective function of the packaging is becoming more and more significant. So anyone who has seen a parcel carrier load his van understands why. No wonder the corrugated board is the packaging material of choice for more than 80% of the e-commerce packaging. However, there are other features of a package that should not be underestimated. Consumers can't get a product directly, but have to wait for delivery. The anticipation rises, and after receipt, one would like to quickly and unproblematically take the ordered goods in hand. Packaging that is difficult or cumbersome to open can dampen this pleasure. Packaging must therefore contribute to the unboxing experience by being easy to open. But as you can see on this slide, and I'm sure some of you will know the feeling, not every product pleases, and the joy of the new product fades fast. Therefore, it is important not to increase the customer's frustration with a complex return function. The packaging must therefore be easy to close for return transport without the consumer having to research for adhesive tape or, if necessarily, new packaging. As you can see, the e-commerce packaging contributes significantly to a good consumer experience. But how can this be achieved? I can show you the solution. The tool is adhesive and tear strips as part of the packaging. Typically, the packages have two pressure-sensitive adhesive strips and one tear strip. The first adhesive strip is used to close the package at the shipper. The packaging staff does not have to handle adhesive tape, but simply and effectively pull off a silicone tape and close the package. The consumer can easily open the package with a tear strip without destroying the package. And in the event of a return, he can send the product back in the same packaging by resealing this with the same adhesive strip. These tools contribute significantly to a positive customer experience, and these tools also enable effective packaging of products at the shipper. So now you may ask, what does Baumer HHS contribute to this packaging solution? That's what the following minutes are about. All the solutions shown are based on experience gained in a large number of installations over a number of years. Baumer HHS has not rested on its success, but has continuously developed the products on the basis of its experience. So now, I would like to present these results of these continuous developments to you. We, as Baumer HHS, are the ones who apply the pressure-sensitive adhesive. as in its example of a high-speed application in which two pressure-sensitive adhesive strips are applied, which are then covered with a silicone strip by a partner company such as Enpro. Enpro will present the technology afterwards. Let's focus on the adhesive application for now. The first innovation I would like to present to you is the new nozzle that has been tested in a wide range of series of tests. The aim of the development was to further improve the uniformity of the adhesive application. We have succeeded in this in an outstanding way. Adhesive application in contact application is uniform to a high degree across the width, even the high application weights. We therefore call this the new development the steady flow nozzle. Steady flow is a technical term from fluid dynamics. It means that the flow is stable and not turbulent. So, as we all know, stable conditions are the basis for the best results. The second requirement that I would like to show you is that the nozzle can apply a high quantity of adhesive even at a high machine speed. The required application weights are typically between 250 gram per square meter and 500 gram per square meter. The contact application head of the e-commerce application can easily achieve this. This is achieved by optimizing the flow through the contact application valve and the two switching modules connected in parallel. The sharpness of the cutoff is an important property so that the adhesive is not carried away to unwanted areas. A certain amount of fading or tailing can never be completely avoided with these high application weights combined with a high machine speed. The aim is to avoid this tailing or to keep it to a harmless minimum. So now, just see for yourself. We think we have succeeded well under these difficult boundary conditions. Let's think big. The 100 kilogram melter is used to melt the difficult to melt and pressure sensitive adhesives. At first glance, this may appear to be the most boring part of the e-commerce system, but it is here that we can report a particularly large number of new innovations. Thanks to a completely new tank design, we were able to increase the melting rate up to a quantity of 120 kg per hour. This means even at the highest machine speed, the supply of adhesive is always ensured. And who says boring when we talk about the environment? The tank is also directly insulated, so we were able to reduce the already low energy consumption of the previous model even further. A non-stick coating of the tank interior ensures easy cleaning of the tank as a standard. The new flow rate control is based on an improved control algorithm that ensures a more even delivery depending on the machine speed. So therefore, the precise adhesive tracking ensures that the same amount of adhesive is fed at any machine speed. And as if that wasn't good enough, the large tank volume of 100 kg combined with the high melting capacity ensures continuous production. The tank was designed to largely eliminate the risk of adhesive carbonization during operation. The overall system offers a cost-effective solution for corrugated packaging and shipping bags compared to the use of the double-sided adhesive tape, with the production of the pressure-sensitive adhesive tapes taking place completely inline. Maximum customer satisfaction is achieved. Now, I would like to address one more important aspect, namely the question of why such a high adhesive application is required for a corrugated board surface. The corrugated board substrates have a more or less uneven surface depending on the flute pitch, the moisture of the substrate, and the production parameters during the manufacture of the corrugated board substrate. This is also referred to as the washboard effect. The upper graphic here shows the effect when too little adhesive is applied. The viscose adhesive then flows from the tips into the valleys and then no longer available as a bonding surface or only to a limited extent. The bonding then no longer takes place over a large area as desired, but at most it spots. The surface must therefore be flooded with the adhesive as shown in the second graphic. Only in this way can the desired surface bonding be achieved. So now the question is, what about substrates that have a flat surface, like shipping bags made of paper or flat folding cartons? it is obvious that less adhesive is needed here. In principle, you could also use the previously discussed solution, but this would be oversized and associated with unnecessary costs. In addition, the lower order weights offer further possibilities for optimizing the overall system. That is why Baumer HHS has a dedicated overall system for the paper and board application. I may now present the heart of our new system, the patented HP 500C contact application valve. This valve is characterized by the snuff-back principle. For example, the valve closes against the flow direction of the adhesive. The associated advantage is a negative pressure and is created to pull back the material so as to achieve an excellent cut-off and prevent any dripping of the material. The valve comes with a holder that allows precise adjustment to the substrate and due to its robustness maintains it during long production runs. An optional counterlayer ensures that the substrate is pressured evenly against the nozzle mouth. The entire system is combined with a 25 kg melter that is matched to the required consumption quantities. The decided package, therefore, ensures excellent adhesive application at a significantly lower investment volume. The complete package is designed to be integrated directly into a folder glue or offline machines. Here you can see that even with difficult surfaces like this recycled cardboard, the application with the HP 500C succeeds in a very high quality. Now that I have shed enough light on the topic of e-commerce and the impact of Baumer HHS in this topic, we have now come to the end of my part in the webinar. Now I would like to hand over to our partner, the company Enpro, who will give you exciting background information on the subject of silicone strip and tear thread application. I hope you continue to enjoy this webinar. Thank you for your attention. Take care.
With thanks to Baumer HHS for having us here today, we would like to complete the e-commerce topic with the Enpro application systems. First, we would like to introduce Enpro with a short look at the company history. In 1997, Albert and Johannes Slot started their own business to provide technical service for customers in the envelopes industry. The idea of Enpro was born. In the year 2000, the first workshop was opened in Hoogstede. From now on, Enpro was not only providing maintenance, but also equipment upgrades and modifications. The year 2007 saw the first silicon paper applicator designed by Enpro. 10 years later, in 2017, the first machine was delivered, the WTB angled belt conveyor. At that time, Enpro had 8 full-time employees. After delivering more than 200 applicators and the first 13 WTBs, the old production facilities in Hoogstede become too small. Enpro moves to the brand new facilities in Wilsum. After delivering nearly 500 applicators and more than 50 WTBs, end of 2021 construction work starts to double the production and office area. Now more than 35 full-time employees are part of the Enpro team. The 2019 built facilities already exceeded the valid energy efficiency standards. The extension shall be climate neutral. And this is what Enpro is doing. The current portfolio shows a strong focus on e-commerce with applicators for silicone tape and for tear strips, both commonly working on multi-point gluers and on other host machines, or on our WTB angled belt conveyor. Introduced in 2021, the MAS multi-application system represents the second generation of applicators so far mainly for silicone tape. The top speed is 300 meters per minute. The servo drive synchronizes with the speed of the product, allowing a flexible adjustment of the finger lift. As another benefit, the hot melt doesn't need to cool down a bit to actually transport the tape. The MAS can be used closer to the hot melt gun, less machine space is needed. The MAS is typically used in our WTB, in multi-point gluers, or on other host machines. Designed as a mobile unit, it can even be moved between different machines. The primary role of the MAS is the application of silicone tape. But it is also capable of applying tear strip, either the traditional red plastic version or tear strip made out of recyclable materials. Tear strips applied by the MAS are 6 mm wide, not self-adhesive, and require a very narrow hot melt coating line. The fact that the product is not touched during the application process opens the door for applying on paper. And of course also on solid board and on corrugated board. Another main advantage of using the MAS for tear strip application is the fact that production speed can now go up to 250 meters per minute. Recently we often heard about sticking issues with the traditional self-adhesive tear strip on certain products. This should also be overcome by using hot melt. And here comes another benefit of the MAS. Silicone tape cannot be applied only using the standard rolls, but also cross-wound spools in different versions, which can carry up to 7 times more tape. This reduces machine standstill dramatically for more net output. Another way how to reduce machine standstill is a splicer. We are working also on this solution. A prototype is being tested and it will be used for rolls and for cross-wound spools, which multiplies the time saving. Despite of the tear strip capability of the MAS, we will keep our traditional TSA tear strip applicator in the product portfolio as a proven economical solution. Recently its production speed was increased from 140 to 170 meters per minute. And using it in a tandem layout can overcome the fact that it requires a minimum gap between two products. Result: more output at the same running speed. Tape is always applied in machine running direction, but sometimes required in a 90 degrees angle, for example for lock bottom cartons. For such products we developed our WTB angled belt conveyor, which is available in 2 different sizes, as WTB 1000 and WTB 1500. Both can actually handle products which are slightly bigger than their name suggests. When thinking about the sizes, you should also have in mind that many products, like straight-line glued or lock bottom cartons, after being folded, will reach a WTB with half of their initial blank size. The operating speed is up to 200 meters per minute. The products are aligned in the feeding process. And there is a micro adjustment for easy setting of all applicators, including the hot melt guns. The WTB can be used inline behind a folder gluer or separately as a standalone unit. The inline version can remain in its position even in case that products with no tape application are produced on the folder gluer. The WTB is designed in a way that it can flexibly be integrated into the different production environments of our customers. With this very typical layout, the products arrive from the conveyor of the folder gluer on the left, change direction for the application process, to then proceed in the same direction like in the gluer. With such a layout, the overall width of the production line can often be reduced. Here we can see the bypass in its lower parking position on the left and when being in use for products with no tape application on the right. And here we see a WTB working completely separate as a standalone machine. This is a very flexible solution, but the running speed is typically limited by the feeding and collecting process. Being in constant contact with our customers, we are always open picking up their ideas. Here is an example of a customer who wants to benefit from the performance and high output of an inline working WTB, as visible in this sketch. But if needed, he wants to operate the WTB offline, while at the same time producing ordinary products on the gluer. With a well thought about positioning of the machines and the use of mobile conveyors, both is possible. Tape is always applied from above. Products like this lock bottom box sometimes seemingly don't allow tape application at all. But with a small redesign, you will have the same product function, but tape application now will be possible. This sheet also shows that the WTB is available both as a right and left-hand version. In case that such a product redesign isn't possible, the so-called manual inline version would see somebody picking up the products from the machine conveyor to manually turn and feed them into the WTB. But at Enpro, we do not only listen to our customers to develop products that meet their demands. We are also putting big effort in providing good service. Even though we are still a small company, we have established a 24/7 service. At any time, our customers can reach a service technician who will help them further. The use of modern tools like TeamViewer and data glasses helps us supporting our customers whenever needed. If you haven't met us yet, and if you cannot judge about our products, please find out more. We will listen to you. For today, thank you for your interest and attention.
Thank you for the presentations. I think there was very much information on that, which is helpful for everybody who's listening here to that. I get the information on the questions that on the chat that there's some of you have lost the connection in between while the presentation was running. So no matter of that, you will get a recording afterwards where all the information is included, so you missed not a single thing. So thank you for the presentations, and now it's your turn. It's time to get questions for the question and answer session. Yes, it's open. Our specialists are now here to answer your questions. The guys will still unmute their microphones, so it's open for you to get the first questions. I get already the first question incoming, which is for the HHS guys. Maybe Andreas Schneiders or Michael Nowinczak can answer. What kind of glue is used for the systems? Who will answer that question?
I can answer this.
Andreas?
For the corrugated board and yeah, for this application, we use PSA glue. And yeah, the market is big. We got different glue suppliers who brings the PSA glue in the market, and our melter is modified that we can handle this very special glue.
Okay, Andreas, thanks a lot. There's a question also regarding the glue. PSA glue, the specifications. Are there any specifications that we have here for the different applications? So, Michael, we have application on paper and flat board?
No, normally there are not special specifications or special PSA glues, but if you are not sure if you can use a special type of glue, our solution center will be glad to test the glue for you, and normally we could work, I would say, nearly to 100% of the PSA glues in the market.
That's a clear statement. Thanks a lot, Michael. There's a question from Ken asking, what are the cost savings expected when changing from pre-gummed tape to the HHS or PSA glue application? Well, this is a really different question, a difficult question. Thomas, do you have an idea on the savings? Just unmute me, Mike.
Yeah, we have done some calculations, but I have to check again. But it's clear that you use double-sided coated tape. You have additional material in it. And if you put the glue directly, you have only one side and no additional material. This is one saving. But perhaps Martin Schott has some figures on that more exactly. What is the savings in doing silicone tape application on PSA?
Yeah, thank you, Thomas, for getting me involved. I have to say no statement here in how many euros per 1,000 boxes. I can only underline that the saving is significant, but we can communicate with customers on an individual basis because we have done some calculations here which are too complex to be shared here in this meeting. But there is one more aspect of this, because the self-adhesive material is much thicker. So on one roll, you would have less meters, let's say maybe up to 1,000 meters, as far as I know. That means you will have to change the rolls much more frequently and lose production time in this case. While on a normal roll with silicone paper, you have to round about 2.5 or 3 more than 3,000 meters. And as we have seen in our presentation, the cross-wound spools even go up to 20,000 meters. So more production time and more output is also a very clear cost saving.
Thank you for that, Martin. There's also a question coming up, Martin, for you and for Albert maybe. There's Nikolai asking about the speed. So at the moment, he's looking at a speed for 250 meters a minute, and the question is to increase the speed up to 350 meters per minute. Question mark. Is that possible? Who can give an answer to that?
Yeah, well, we are giving a technical speed of 300 meters per minute for our MAS. We have even exceeded it in short test runs. On the other hand, our customers in their daily production not even pushing it to the limits. In testing, yes. In daily life, we know about 250 meters roundabout. That's what it is. But of course, we will never stop developing further, and hopefully also find customers who are chasing us with the 300 meters in daily life.
Okay, I guess that's a topic which will come up. Next question coming up for the what kind of flutes we can cover in the corrugated industry. So is there a chance for B flute or C flute, A flute? What is a limitation over here? I don't know, Andreas or Martin, who can answer that?
So for the gluing head, so there is no limitation. So we work with nearly every flute because we got a cover, and our application head is in contact with the board, and yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of flute we got. We have to fill it up, that we got a flat surface, that the tack is perfect when you close the board, and this is important. The higher the flute is, that you have to bring more grammage on the product. That's it.
And also from our side, the kind of flute, the thickness doesn't really make a big difference, especially for the silicon tape application where we do not actually touch the board at all. We are depositing the paper onto the fresh hot melt line. So the material underneath doesn't really make a difference to us.
Okay, Martin, thanks a lot for that answer. There's a question coming up. Can I implement the system in an existing machine, or is it a new system what has to come up? Martin, that's maybe something for you or for Albert.
Yeah, I mean, also here, both is possible in our daily life. We are often working together also with different machine suppliers who are delivering new machines to be equipped for e-commerce, including our systems. But at the same time, we will receive requests from customers who want to retrofit existing machinery with our systems, and both is possible. And we have to be careful saying without limitations, but our units are rather compact, and especially in combination with the hot melt guns, not much space is needed. So we will normally find a way to integrate the systems also into existing machinery.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Martin. Question for Andreas, maybe it's about the coating width. How width is the application wide that we have, or how many heads and can we adapt to the system?
Yeah, the standard coating width in Europe is around 35 millimeters, but yeah, we can handle different sizes. There's a mask in the application head, so it's up to the customer and he has to decide what kind of width he will use, and also up to the silicon paper. I think, yeah, Martin can say a little bit about it. And we can set our application at absolutely no problem.
I can make it relatively easy in this case. I mean, all the different widths that Andreas has mentioned can be covered by us as well. Yeah, that's we haven't seen any limitations there so far.
So just to add something, if you have a wider application width, then this is not an application for e-commerce. Then we are calling about coating, and we can coat PSA hot melt up to 500 millimeters. So if you have any projects, please come up to me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Michael, for that very interesting information. I have now a question which is could maybe covered by Thomas Walter. Nicola is asking about the quality check. Are there some ideas, some possibilities in checking glue application sensors or cameras? Thomas, can you give your idea about that?
We're still checking the checking possibilities because, as you can imagine, the surface is very influenced by the corrugated board, and all our sensors looks for a very even surface of the glue to check it. And we are working on algorithm to equalize it, because if you see the surface of the glue, you can see a little bit the valleys and the mountains, or how we call it, and also it's very depending the result on the way how the flute is directed to the glue, if it's with the glue line or against the glue line. And this all influences we have to integrate in the checking possibilities, but we are working on that. But we don't have at the moment an optical solution. What is principally possible is to check it by flow meter, but we don't have so much experience, a good experience, because the material is very viscous and very elastic, and you can measure something, but if it's exactly what you want, and But on the other hand, we are very stable in applying a certain amount of glue on the surface. So with a new flow control controller, we have very excellent results to get something done. Thank you.
I would also like here to add something. We have a sensor, it's called an HLT, and with this sensor you can control the presence of the glue, if the glue is there or not. This is the only thing we can check, but if you want to have this check if the glue is there or not, we have a solution, but only up to the width of 40 to 50 millimeters. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot. There is one additional question, which is something for you, Martin. Tier tape application with the MAS method, is this already done in practice, or can you tell something about the advantages?
Yes, it is done in practice. We made a start with paper applications because there it was basically the only chance to apply a tear strip. Touching the paper with the traditional tear strip applicator caused issues because the material started to move and be deformed. So our first steps in the paper applications were with the MAS, and there is more than half a dozen units out in the industry working in daily life for more than 1 year now, so it is an existing and proven solution. A little bit later, we started to approve it also for cardboard or corrugated applications.
Okay, thanks a lot. I have one additional question here, which is on the glue consumption. There's a question, how many glue will be applied? So I guess this is related to the different applications, but maybe Andreas and Michael can give their business and their informations some input.
Yeah, for the corrugated board, we are talking about 300 grams per square meter, and this is so plus minus the standard what we hear from the market. So, but we have different discussion with customers. So if you got a very small flute, so it is 200, 150 grams is absolutely okay. But this you have to check. Our customers have to check it with their end customers, but we are open. And for the paper industry, Michael can answer.
Yeah, I can answer for sure. Yeah, it depends on really if you are using a cardboard or a paper or something like this. To have the good surface, the minimum of the minimum application is around about 40 grams per square meter. You can use it for thin paper. If you use a cardboard, you are going higher up to 60, 80 grams, but not more, I would say not more than 120 grams per square meter.
Okay, I think that's a clear answer on that. Now I just have a question coming up, which is dedicated to HHS and also to Enpro as well. And there's a question coming up, how many e-commerce systems are in total installed? So how many e-commerce systems do we have installed from HHS? And Enpro, how many systems have you installed in the market so for the systems? Maybe this is yes, to show that it is not a single thing, it is a common installation in the market. Martin, maybe you as well as first.
Yeah, okay. We have, I think it was mentioned at the beginning of our presentation in the company history. We have round about 500 applicators out in the market in total. More or less 2/3 of these are for the application of silicone tape, and the remaining third is then, of course, for the tear strip applications. Traditionally, we started using them in mostly folder gluers or some other machines. So the majority of these units is working in such machines. But after we started introducing our WTB, now it's more and more used with the customers. And the fact that we have delivered more than 50 of these units, mostly equipped with 2 or 3 of our applicators, tells that it's really a proven thing working in the industry for a couple of years now. Yeah, so not a few exotic people using it.
Okay, Thomas, maybe you can give us also an indication how many systems are in.
Yes,
how
I
many
can
HHS
do,
has.
but perhaps Andreas can correct me. We have to differentiate in paper and folding carton. We have, I don't know, I can't count it, a lot of applications with coating. But in the corrugated industry, Andreas, I think we have more than 75 installations.
Much more. So
Okay.
we after we installed around 70 systems in the market, we got the relaunch of our system with our new tank, with our new application head, and now we running in the direction from 100.
Okay, so thank
But
you
this
for
is
that.
only for corrugated,
Yes, just for
okay.
corrugated. Yeah.
And then comes with paper and folding carton on top. Okay.
Okay, so that's actual all the questions that I have from my side here coming in to the system. I think the specialists have covered all the questions. I hope that everybody gets the answers he needs to know. For any reason you get additional questions, you can, after the webinar, you can write us an email. The specialists from Enpro, Martin and Albert, will stay to your side and help you. And Thomas, Michael and Andreas from HHS will also glad to answer your questions. I will just move a short round for a short wrap up to after the webinar. Maybe Albert, can you start a short feedback from your side and a short wrap up? It's okay for you?
Please again, what wrap up? What do you mean?
Yeah,
exactly?
a short summary about the systems and a short summary of the webinar, and let's say some final closure words, because I think
Yes,
we are nearly done.
thank you very much, everyone who listen here. We very nice that we can tell about our systems. Yes, very nice. Thank you.
Okay, Albert, thanks a lot. Martin, from your side, any closures, wrap-ups?
Yeah, also, first of all, another big thank you for involving us here. I think it was a good informative session. Nice to see that there were a lot of questions from the people who have joined us here today. And yeah, we will be happy to maintain the contact with you and the customers here to discuss further. Thank you for the opportunity.
Martin, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Andreas,
Yeah, I will also say thank you to everybody for listening. And yeah, it was a pleasure. If you got any question, please contact us. And yeah, stay healthy, and thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Michael, from you?
Yeah, also thank you from my side. Sorry. And how Andreas said, if you have any questions about the glue, about the system settings or the equipment, just don't hesitate to contact us, and we will answer all your questions, probably all. I hope so. So have a nice day, take care, and goodbye.
Thank you. Michael? Thomas, from you?
Yeah, thank you for participation. I make it short, and thank you for the good questions. If you have questions afterwards, we are open to answer any questions, and please come back to us. Thank you.
Okay, so then it's my turn now to close up the webinar. I get already the first thank you in the chat function for these very brilliant information that our specialists and the presentations gave to the market. This is something I can also tell to you that from my side, it was very fine to have you here. All these people attending to our webinar, thank you for attending to us. Have a nice day. Stay safe and stay connected when we have the next time Baumer HHS dialogue for the new topics that we have in our products and our solutions. Thanks a lot for attending, and we will share the recording to you as soon as possible. Thanks a lot.